If someone with hepatitis scratches me with their nail, can they transmit the virus to me? I had an open cut on my finger right where they scratched me. Is there a possibility that they transmitted the disease to me? If there was blood under their nail or if they had a cut on their hand as well? Posted by JustAnswer at customer's request. Hello. I would like to request the following expert services from you. Live phone call. Let me know if you need more information, or send me the service offers so we can proceed.
Hi there, I understand your concerns. Yes, there is risk of hepatitis B transmission this way, 1 to 2% risk. However, you are likely immune against hepatitis B by vaccination. So you should be safe. Hepatitis C is not usually transmitted in this route. So I will not worry about that. Best wishes, it was my pleasure to help you today. Please bookmark my profile for asking further questions. This is the link to my profile, http://www.justanswer.com/medical/expert-mystic-doc/.
When would I have been vaccinated for hepatitis B? Is this a vaccine that everyone receives? Do you think I need to be tested for any form of hepatitis?
Usually in the childhood if you are born in the U.S. Your doctor should have your immunization record also. But you can confirm by getting a hepatitis panel blood test. Best wishes.
I was born in the U.S., so I'm sure that I would have had that vaccine. Would you suggest that I need to get that blood panel done? From your answer above, it seems as though transmission would not be possible. If I do the panel, how long does it take for it to show up in my blood?
Not necessary. But if your anxiety gets better of you, then you can. You should wait 6 to 8 weeks before getting your tests done. Best wishes.
I do have a lot of anxiety about these things, but if your professional opinion is that it is not necessary, then I will opt not to have testing done. I work closely with this person and I just worry about becoming exposed to the virus. We do not work in the medical field, but this morning I was passed paperwork back and forth and her nail scratched my finger, so I began to worry. Thank you for all your help.
Very welcome, do not worry. You are safe. Best wishes.
Before I found this site, I asked another doctor website this question. The doctor there had me worried because he kept suggesting I get tested for hepatitis. He said the chance of transmission was minimal and even went so far to say 0.01%. Then kept telling me about all of the testing. When I questioned him, he just began to speak more of the testing. It just has me worried that I may have contracted the disease. I would have to wait months to be tested just to be sure. I don't want to worry for the next 6 months. Do you think there is any chance of transmission?
Hi there. The other doctor in fact confirmed what I said about the very low risk of transmission. There is no need for testing based on this type of exposure only. Best wishes.
Okay. Here was the conversation. If someone with hepatitis scratches me with their nail, can question, if someone with hepatitis scratches me with their nail, can they transmit the virus to me? I had an open cut on my finger right where they scratched me. Is there a possibility that they transmitted the disease to me? If there was blood under their nail or if they had a cut on their hand as well? Images answer: hello, thanks for the query. Hepatitis is a viral infection. It has multiple routes of transmission. Blood-borne route is the most common one in the form of needle pricks, intravenous drug abuse, or a contaminated blood transfusion. Other routes are by homosexual and heterosexual intercourse and contact with body fluids and fetal-maternal contact in utero. In your case, the chances of getting infected is very, very minimal. If the person is infected with the virus, and scratched you with the nail that had no blood underneath the nail bed, the chance is almost zero. However, if you have a cut in the nail bed of the person carried infected blood, then there could be very minimal chance, that is around 0.01%. You may opt for hepatitis immunoglobulin post-exposure if needed. Also, do not squeeze the area or meddle with it. Wash under tap water or running water with soap. Pat dry. Do not scratch the area further. You can also do a hepatitis test after 4 weeks to rule out the disease and repeat after 3 months. However, if you are at ease, these things may not be needed. Kindly consult your physician for a post-exposure prophylaxis. Hope this helps. Feel free to write back for further clarification. Regards, comments, follow-ups. Patient: do you think that I need to get tested for it or have that post-exposure prophylaxis? If the chances of transmission are minimal, then I would think that would not be necessary. Doctor: the chance is definitely minimal. It is your choice whether to take this further or not. It depends on how sure you are that there was blood under the nail bed of the infected person. It is better to go ahead with the remedies. Regards, patient: I have no idea if there was blood there or not. We worked together and I handed the person some paperwork. While doing so, the person scratched my finger with their fingernail. I do not seem to have a visible mark on my finger, but I did have a small cut like a paper cut near where they scratched my finger. If you are saying the chances are minimal at 0.01%, then I would feel comfortable not being tested. Is there an incubation period for the virus? Doctor: yes, there is no need to test or opt for prophylaxis as you now say that it was a very thin cut. There is an incubation period for the virus and is about 1.5 to 6 months. Regards, patient: if the cut were larger, would I need to? I have contact with this person before. We work together, but I just recently found out about the hepatitis. I'm just worried that through casual contact with this individual I may have been infected. I have cuts on my hands but none that are very large or open. I also bit my nails, so I have some cuts around those areas from nail biting. I mostly just want a professional opinion on whether or not I could have contracted the illness. You stated before that the chance was minimal or at 0.01%. That helped to ease my mind, but the continuous conversation regarding testing had me worried that you may feel that it is necessary. Doctor: since you said that there was only a single contact and the cut was very small, we said to neglect the incident. If there has been repeated contact and you have a doubt about presence of blood or not from the infected person, do a hepatitis test to detect it. If negative, you can get yourself vaccinated to prevent further infection. Regards, patient: Is there a vaccination for hepatitis C? I believe I have already been vaccinated for hepatitis B when I was a child. Doctor: No, there is not a well-established one for C. Hepatitis B has one and you need to repeat every 5 years. Regards.
Okay, there is no need to worry about.
Okay. I didn't know because I went into more detail with that doctor. Thank you for all your help.
Very welcome.
What about the post-exposure prophylaxis or the hepatitis immunoglobulin post-exposure that was suggested above? Would you recommend that in this situation?
Not needed in this situation.
Okay. Thanks again. I have a worrisome mind. Thank you easing it.
Very welcome.
If you have a health question and want to chat with a doctor now, visit justanswer.com/ythealth.